ElfWood, another fantasy heartbreaker or something new? We think it's something new. Most fantasy settings have certain tropes that are simply accepted, with little or no explanation of why. The elves and the dwarves hate each other, and they always have, and they've had wars, and there's been bad blood. But why? The elves love the trees and everything about the forest. Sure, if you've studied the folklore origins of the elven myth, you have an understanding. But most fantasy worlds hand-wave it and just say, they love nature. In ElfWood, the elves love the trees because their life cycle encompasses the trees. And just why and how did the dark elves come to be? And why are these cousins of the forest elves connected and yet so dissimilar? In ElfWood there are answers to these questions, more than merely another hand-wave of magic. The dwarves love to dig and mine, and they love gold and silver and all the mineral wealth of the earth. But again, why? More hand-waving, and that's just what a dwarf is. In ElfWood you learn that the dwarg are part of the earth, and the earth is part of their life cycle. Similarly, the orcs typically have some kind of twisted corruption, usually magic, of elves. ElfWood takes this a bit further. The orcs are born from elves who are slain in violence, and the dark, thorny trees that grow from their corpses. ElfWood is a fantasy setting using the Sixcess core game system, but it can be played using any game system you prefer. The world is rich and vibrant and unique, a completely different fantasy world to provide new perspectives and new variations of the old fantasy tropes. It is familiar and yet original and novel. For those who love fantasy but want something new, this setting delivers new mythos, new pantheons, new perspectives. ElfWood brings fantasy into the Renaissance, with the inclusion of gunpowder, mighty sailing vessels, and even steamships. If you want to know more, a brief history of ElfWood is available in our next video presentation.